Hello, everyone. Today is August 28th, 2023. And this is episode 15, Like Sands Through the Hourglass. These are the days of our lives. So I'm going to change a little bit, you know, sports first, because this week it's been a little somber. Lost more than a few people, celebrity wise. It's been a pretty rough week for people who we've known for a long time. So if you like what you see or hear, click the subscribe button on the bottom right hand corner. Let's go to this one first. And this hurt a lot of people, I'm sure. We lost a legend this week on the 26th, Bob Barker. Born Robert William Barker on December 12th, 1923. American television game show host that everybody knows. He hosted The Price is Right. And he did that from 1972 to 2007. Long time for Bob. Also, if you didn't know, older people might know if they watch this, he did Truth or Consequences in 1956 to 75. So that was just before. So he did two game shows in between 72 and 75. This man, what absolute workaholic. I mean, he did all these game shows back in the day, and obviously he had some controversy, but that's pretty much everybody in Hollywood has some type of controversy. One thing I wanted to go through, he did have a little bit of a movie career, and almost everybody knows that was Happy Gilmore. And you know the video. I doubt I could play it here, but you know the fight. You know the fight scene where him and Adam Sandler go at it. It was absolutely hysterical. That's what I'll probably remember Bob Barker most, because I am a big Adam Sandler fan. Is the fight scene where Adam knocks him out, and then he gets up and he beats the crap out of Adam. If you haven't seen it, which I think maybe only one or two out of the 3 billion people in the world haven't seen it, you got to see it. It's an absolute hysterical moment in a movie. I don't have much more to say. I mean, it's a big loss for everybody, but I know more people have said online, especially like Vanna White. I saw said something, and let me go back. Vanna White said something. I'm assuming also Pat Sajak said something to Andrew Carey, who's now hosting Price is Right. All right, so we did have two more people that we lost. So I'll go to the second one first, but we lost two WWE wrestlers, one Hall of Famer and one probably future Hall of Famer now posthumously. Terry Funk died on the 23rd, so he died just about a week ago at the Wednesday night. He was up there. He is 70, if I'm reading that right, almost 80 years old. 79, almost 80. He the consummate professional in wrestling, one of the better ones, no doubt. He worked for almost 50 years, from what I understand. That's insane. I'll get to more of that a little bit down the road. I am going to talk WWE first. Also, is the former WWE champion. Like I said, he's a future Hall of Famer in my book. Bray Wyatt. His real name is Wyndham Rotunda, and he died on Thursday. This was all over WWE on Friday on SmackDown, and I'll come up on that right now. Is that so we got Raw headlines. Last week's SmackDown tributes and the SmackDown in Hershey that's upcoming, and also the pay-per-view on Peacock that's called Payback, which is going to be in Pittsburgh on Saturday, September 2nd. So let me share this real quick. So what we got going on Raw today. Oh, it's not letting me share. There we go. So window. There we go. Share. Coming up on Raw tonight, it's already probably started. We got Becky Lynch taking on Zoe Stark, probably in the Falls Count Anywhere match. That's going to be probably the last match of the night. You also got matches with Chad Gable facing Ludwig Kaiser. That's he's part of that. It's basically a 3-on-3 match, even though Gable's partner, one of the partners, is a woman. I have a funny feeling Gable's going to lose this one just because it's going to be an outright brawl. Tommaso Ciampa, haven't seen him on Raw in a while, facing Big Bronson Reed battle. I guess Ciampa's back, and Bronson was his guy that he faced the last time, and then you got the New Day taking on the Viking Raiders. So I know they've been doing a lot of the fights with the tag teams, so they can get to a tag team championship with the two was it Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. So that's probably be coming up soon. And like I said, I want to get to. I think it was down here. No. So. Go to shows. Let me go to shows. So let me go to the SmackDown that they had last Friday. You're going to SmackDown. So this was really interesting. So if you saw this on Friday night, SmackDown pays tribute to Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk. And this was at the end of the last match on Friday night, where they had a hologram, it looked like, of Bray Wyatt with his, candles that he brought usually into the ring. They did it, a 10-bell salute for Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk. And I tell you, these 10-bell salutes, they always get me crying. I don't know about anybody else who watches these things, but it absolutely got me crying. And this match was pretty good. The Io Sky Zelina Vega. Vega is a better wrestler than I thought. I'll give her a lot of credit. Vega is a better wrestler. And also, LA Knight, he's becoming the John Cena of this era. He's got a little mix of John Cena. He's got a little mix of Stone Cold Steve Austin. He might even have a little mix of Triple H. I mean, this guy, he kind of mixed a lot of things to become the wrestler he is. But this past SmackDown was pretty good, I gotta say. But the one upcoming, let's see, it's not showing me upcoming. Oh well, this is actually a big thing. So okay, well I went away, but let me see if I can get it back. There we go. John Cena is coming back. That's going to be interesting. I'm curious how John Cena is going to return on Friday Night SmackDown. Cena's been out for 6 months, a year, probably doing whatever he does, and I am curious on what he's going to do. So maybe another tribute to Terry Funk, because I know him and Terry were pretty close, and he had bouts with Bray Wyatt. He actually, if I'm correct, lost the title to Bray Wyatt and to give Bray Wyatt his first title. So. And it was cool, too. They even brought his chair that he usually sits in. He used to sit in back in the day. And if you see here, these men right here, this man and this man, that's and it shows even these two got them closer. They got closer together, looking up. These are two of the biggest men in WWE, and they were teammates at one point with Bray Wyatt, and it's honestly, it was a very sad thing. I mean, from all possibilities, he died of a heart attack, and at 36, that's just a sad thing. And last, I will talk about we got the Payback pay-per-view coming up on Saturday, and it looks like Seth Rollins will be battling Shinsuke Nakamura for the World Heavyweight title. I'm going with Rollins on that one. That's just my thought. Austin Theory looking to regain his title from Rey Mysterio, which I forgot. I must have missed a SmackDown, and Rey took it from Austin. I'm not a fan of Austin. I hope Austin loses. I hope Rey wins, but excuse me, I think it could go either way on that one. LA Knight looks to silence the Miz. I think that's a no-brainer. LA Knight should win and will win. I mean, it should be that epic of a battle, especially for Miz. He hasn't been in an epic battle in a while. And Cody Rhodes to appear on the Grayson Waller effect. I think there's going to be a fight at some point. This Grayson Waller, he's not the Miz. I'll tell you right now. Like, the Miz at least when he did his show on Raw, it was kind of entertaining. This Grayson Waller is not. And then I guess Rodriguez is going against Ripley. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. So she's going against Ripley for the WWE title, and Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus in a steel cage. I love Trish Stratus, but this is not good for her. She's a year older than me, year and a half older, and for whatever reason, she's back to wrestling. And in a steel cage, I don't think she got a shot. I think this is Becky Lynch all the way through. All right, so I guess I'll talk a little bit more about Bray. I'll read what they wrote on ESPN, Mark Romaldi. Let me go off of that. There we go. So he was known for being one of the most creative minds in professional wrestling, who pushed the boundaries with innovative characters, and he had some really creative characters. There's no doubt. Some to the point where I just didn't like him, me personally. And he was scary. I couldn't have my kids, now they're 9, but let's say 2-3 years ago, I couldn't have them watch him. He was a scary character. He was more scary than Kane was, I thought. But as they've gotten older, it's not as scary. He's got that cackle of a smile. He did that Pee Wee Herman type thing on his Playhouse. So he's now. I could probably have my kids watch old videos of him, see if they are interested, see what this guy was about, if they like him or not. I mean, he's a character, and for Aiden, honestly, as wanting to be an actor, this is the type of character he could learn things from, not necessarily become a scary actor, but just the things that he did to become a scary actor, So Triple H tweeted out that he had died on Thursday. I said tweeted. It's X, whatever, tweet X. I'm going to keep, you know what? I don't care what Elon Musk did. I'm going to keep calling it tweet, because that's what I've always done. When I've done it, I've tweeted. Anyway, so yeah, Triple H, Paul Levesque, he tweeted it on his page. Wyatt, whose real name is Wyndham Rotunda, had been inactive for over the past several months while dealing with an undisclosed health issue. He had been with WWE since 2009, save for just over a year in 2021. In 2022, he was surprisingly released. Rotunda returned to the WWE last September with so much fanfare and a mysterious storyline, including cryptic vignettes, which helped boost television ratings. Which, go figure, they lost a lot of their ratings when he left. Again, Levesque wrote also that he just received a call from WWE Hall of Famer Mike Rotunda, who informed us as the tragic news that our WWE family member for life, Wyndham Rotunda, also known as Bray Wyatt, unexpectedly passed earlier today. I didn't know he was he was a third generation. I mean, I know all the generations, I thought, The Rock and the Samoans, with all his grandfather. You got Orton with his father, Cowboy Bob. You got Eddie and Ray and all those guys who, in that Latino area, that Latino world. You got, let's go back to Rock. You got also, Roman Reigns with the Usos, and Usos' father is Rikishi. All these different families. And I think I'm forgetting one. I feel like I'm forgetting a family, but the Rotundas, I did not know. I truly did not know that they had a family. And all the people, you know what? I did forget one, Mr. Perfect and his son. So his son was the second generation. And he wrestled. You know how Bray Wyatt came in, and maybe some of you people don't know. WWE people do know. There was this group called Nexus that came in. It was a group of 5 men. The lead guy was Dean, not Malenko. Wade Barrett. Wade Barrett, who's now a WWE announcer for SmackDown. Wade Barrett was the lead for Nexus. Bray Wyatt was part of the 5. And if you look up Nexus, the 5 members. There's also someone in the 5 that's also or was in Washington. I forget his name. If you look him up, I'm not going to do it now. I got a lot of stuff up here. So, he was part of it. Nexus is, for as bad as they were one of the better storylines of that era. How the fusing of Nexus into the dichotomy of the WWE and all that. All right, so something I missed last week, and I am sorry I did, because I did watch more than a few games last week. Not as much this week. Little League World Series. This would have trumped anything that happened if the people hadn't died this week that did, and all the things that WWE did. The Little League World Series this year was one of the best ones I've seen in a while. And I'm getting a little biased because my son Hunter is 9. He's in baseball, so he'll be going into play. And could he be part of some of these teams when he's 10 or 11? That's a possibility. I mean, he's in Pennsylvania. He's half an hour to an hour away from Williamsport. So I have a deep interest in this now, more than I've ever had. And the Pennsylvania team did actually pretty well. Not well enough. I mean, they got this kid, and I have to go into it. That's the Mid-Atlantic region. That's where they're from, and they beat the New Jersey team. The Pennsylvania team beat the New Jersey team to go to the Little League World Series. Let's look at Pennsylvania. What is it? I thought it said. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, Media, Pennsylvania. That's where they're from. So that's a little west of Philadelphia, if I'm correct. And let's see if I can find their team. There's this one kid, absolutely amazing kid. And you're going to have, okay, maybe I have to go to my Twitter. Let's go back. Let's get out of the Game Changer. Visitor info. No. Teams. Let's go to teams. So this might help. Maybe New Jersey might have been the metro region. Okay, Mid-Atlantic beat New England region, and then lost to Southwest. That's right. So that's how Pennsylvania lost. But they got this kid, and there it is. Nathan Hellberg. Remember this name. Nathan Hellberg. He's 12 years old. He's a big, beefy kid. And he hit some bombs. I don't know. Let's see. Doesn't say. He had a game-tying RBI single, it looks like, in one of the games that he played, probably the game before. Oh, no. It was the game they lost. I apologize. This is the game I watched. Hit a bomb to either left field or center field. I think it was center. And like I said, he reminds me of a right-handed Daniel Vogelbach. They were comparing him because of Pennsylvania to The guy in Philly. Yeah, I think you all know who I'm talking about. The Philly player who's a big guy. He's a home run hitter. He doesn't play the field well. Oh God, why is it? I've played with him on my MLB game, but that's who Hellberg reminds me of. This kid is going to be in the draft. Let's see, he's 12 now, so 18, 19 years old, 7 years. In 7 years, so this is 2030. I'm saying it now. Nathan Hellberg will get drafted by somebody in the first round of the MLB draft of 2030. See if I'm right on that. But let's go back to the home. So the West region are the 2023 League Baseball World Series champions. And they won with a game-winning home run. They beat the team from the Caribbean, which was Curacao. Now, Curacao had a heck of a game prior where they beat, where is it? They beat Asia Pacific, and that's Chinese Taipei. Now, Chinese Taipei, they destroyed everybody. But here's the funny thing: they had no offense. That was the one thing about this team that they were lacking of than they have in the past. They had no offense. They were winning games 1-0, 2-1. They only had in their 4 games they played 4 hits. That's not good for Chinese Taipei, and I'm sure they'll fix that. They're going to find better hitters probably. They're going to find a Shohei Ohtani who can do both, pitch and play right field or whatever. But like I said, California, I can't tell who California what. They don't tell me. I'd have to look through it. And here's the kicker part about what I said with Chinese Taipei. So they have a third place game with the League World Series. The Chinese Taipei destroyed Texas 10-0. I'm guessing they called the game at some point because they have that 10-run rule. They were so upset that they lost to Curacao. They destroyed Texas. And that's kind of the Chinese Taipei way. If you look back in the past of these teams, that's what they did. So, okay. I mean, like I said, congratulations to California. They deserve it. They played their what's off. If I can actually find, I want to find these team members. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. You think you can click these things and then it pop up. It does not. It just says CA defeats CW, and that was Curacao. Here the walk-off home run was Louis Lappe, Lappe. He's a big kid. I'm not going to say what I said about Hellberg with him, but Lappe could be there too. Can't squawk on this kid. And even this one, I'm just basing it off of what they said. Nasir El Oasis, who looks like he plays for Curacao. He had a game-time grand slam. That's a big kid playing for Curacao. So, here's the team roster. Okay, I had to go farther down. So they got a bunch of kids: 5'3", 5'4", 5'4", 5'5", 5 foot, 5'3", 5'10". Brody Brooks is 5'10". Infielder and pitcher. Brody Brooks. Remember that name. That's that. Wow. 5'10". 5'9". Declan McRoberts. He's a infielder, outfielder, and pitcher. So the kid does it all. 5'7". And these are 12-year-olds, people. 12. Insane. Wait a minute. This can't be right. I didn't even see this Louis Lappe. I didn't see how tall he is. Nobody's going to believe. I really should have watched these California games. Louis Lappe, who was number 19 on the team, infielder and pitcher, right-hander, at 12 years old, is 6'1". 12 years old, 6'1". Aaron Judge, right there. What is it? What's in the West that are making these kids so big? I need to know. I mean, 6'1" at 12 years old. That's absolutely insane. But you know what, California, good for you. You won. Good, they've won the most. California's won the most Little League World Series for any American state. I think this is not number 8 or 9. I think they had 8, and this is 9. So good for them. That's that's nothing to shake your head at. They played pretty well. All right, so let's talk a little trade. So this happened today, or actually not today, but past couple days. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 trades by teams in the last 4 days. The big ones I have on the screen here. Isaiah Simmons traded from the Cardinals to the Giants, safety, and honestly, and I've looked at some social media when this happened, and I kind of agree. It was a steal. What's wrong with this guy that you gave him up for what we gave back, which was almost nothing? I think it was a 7th rounder. I'm happy. He's going to solidify, hopefully, a safety / cornerback area that's been hurting, that's been depleted, mostly by injury or people leaving and then apparently getting better when they go to the Eagles. Anyway, yeah, little ticked off on that one. And y'all know who I'm talking about with that Eagle that all of a sudden had left the Giants, went to the Eagles, and he's better. Okay, yeah. So Isaiah Simmons should be a definite big pickup. The other one, no surprise, from my work to social media, we all knew Trey Lance was going somewhere. And of course, he goes to Dallas. So this guy will be backing up Dak. And I will say, if Dak gets hurt, Dallas doesn't lose much. Trey Lance can actually run better. Trey Lance can explode if he's given the chance. He had no chance. Somehow, Darnold beat him. I don't get it. That really surprised me. You spent that much draft capital to get him, and then you lose him. You just trade him away to another. No, granted, it wasn't a team in their division, but you might see him in the playoffs. I mean, it's highly unlikely. San Francisco got a better shot than Dallas, in my opinion. But yeah, Trey Lance going to the Dallas Cowboys. Good for them. Yeah, I'm really surprised. Not too many other big ones. Josh Jones, offensive tackle, also traded from the Cardinals. Cardinals were involved in 3 trades that they gave up 2 people and received 1. They got a quarterback? Yes, they did. Sorry, I did not know that they actually picked up a backup quarterback, Joshua Dobbs. I can't say I've heard of him, and it's shocked that he's in a trade. Browns picked up a running back from the Patriots, Pierre Strong. Well, I don't think he's getting drafted. And I mean fantasy football. Patriots also gave back, they received Tyrone Wheatley Jr., offensive tackle, to round out the 28th, which is today. So obviously we had 3 trades today. Steelers traded to the Rams, Kevin Dotson, guard. Vikings traded to the Patriots, Verdanian Low, offensive tackle. And this surprising, a kicker got traded. When does a kicker get traded? They get released. They don't get traded. Dustin Hopkins got traded from the Chargers to the Browns. So the Browns pick up in 2 days a running back and a kicker. The kicker is obviously making the team. I mean, why would you trade for a kicker? So he's making the team. But the running back, I'm pretty sure they got somebody in RB1. So maybe RB2. I don't know. Okay, so that's the trades, which I definitely found interesting 10 days before. And boom, NFL starts in 10 days, everybody. Teams are cutting tomorrow, 4 p.m. And let's talk about the Giants and Jets game. I watched a little bit of that. like the first half. Okay. And if you don't know, and you didn't want to see the end of the game or hear about the end of the game, the Giants lost to the Jets 32-24. Okay. Not a big deal. We did give up 14 points in the first quarter. So they scored 18 and we scored 24 in the last whatever. Why is there a bug in here? Anyway. So my takeaway. First things first, Tyrod Taylor needs to go. I'm calling it. I know Jim LeBruno, if you watch this at some point this week, we've actually agreed about this, that Tyrod needs to go. There's this kid, his name, and he's a third-string quarterback. Why did this go to that? I don't want that. Okay. Come on. I know his name. There we go. Tommy DeVito. I wanted the first name. I knew it was DeVito. Tommy DeVito started in the middle of the first quarter and basically took the rest of the game. He needs to be this number 2 guy. He needs to be the backup to Daniel Jones. And I'll say this. The reason is because the kid can throw, the kid can run. He's similar to Daniel Jones. Why do you want Tyrod Taylor, who's older, doesn't move, and did not move against the Jets at all? I mean, yeah, granted, he went up against the first team Jets defense. And I'll tell you, I'm a little surprised that wasn't Daniel Jones. I'll get to that. But he went up against the first team defense for two times, more than 2 plays. It was like two series, okay? 2 series, Tyrod Taylor does nothing. But you think he would have prepared for that. I mean, there would have, and I blame a little bit on the offensive coordinator, who, you needed to prepare a little bit better. Maybe make a throw or two more different. There was no running lanes that the Jets had. None. I mean, they were running into walls. Number 11, let's see if I can get his name, on the Jets. Yeah, they're only doing Giants stuff on here, in part because it's a Giants page. But number 11, I remember him flying through the right side, sacking Tyrod. Tyrod had no time. I mean, the Jets, and I was right, and I think I'm going to be right. I said the Jets going 15-2. They're really good. They showed it. Now, I'm going to be on the opposite side of some people on social media, Jim LeBruno and a few others, that stated that Aaron Rodgers was getting calls. I saw that whole first half. Aaron Rodgers didn't get calls. The Giants lost they were wronged on one penalty, but kind of received one back. So it got even. So I wasn't thinking that was the case. So we can beg to differ, and that's fine. The third team played like they didn't want to get cut. They scored 24 points on the second and third string Jets defense, which only shows me that these Jets better not get hurt, is they don't have really great backups, and they were kind of struggling on offensive line. You could see it. It wasn't a lot, but then here's the fun. Remember, we didn't start anybody, and then I'll go on to this now. Why didn't we start our first team? Brian Dable dressed everybody, but didn't put the first team out. What's the point? I'm flabbergasted at the Giants and doing something like this, where you dress these guys for no reason. It begs the question, why even have preseason football. And I'll get to that. I'm going to keep it as part of this because, I heard on a radio show today, and they talked about it. Guess how many quarterbacks who were first string starters didn't play in the preseason this year out of 32 teams? No, the person watching, you gonna guess? Guess the number. Okay, you don't want to guess? Okay. It's 9. 9 quarterbacks, including Daniel Jones, did not play a down. I hope that doesn't hurt him. I truly don't. And I'll say this, and Tyrod's not much better. If Daniel Jones goes down, my 14-3, I think goes to like 5 and how many games? 17. So 5-12. I'll say it now. If Daniel Jones goes down at any point, especially in the beginning of the year, reverse my 3-4, my 14-3 to like either 3-14 or 5-12, because we're not going to be good. Our defense is not going to be able to win games without a good quarterback behind center. Period. I did get a comment. Let's see. Yeah. 9 LOL. Nice. Yeah. All right. So, like I said, the cuts are tomorrow. I looked at the cuts that have already happened. It's nobody significant, nobody that people know. There was a wide receiver for the Jets, but that wide receiver Jet core is pretty solid. You're going to get guys off that team that are not making it. You could bring Plaxico Burress back, and he wouldn't make it. That's how good they are. And it's so. I mean, like I said, I'm not upset about the Giants. I'm really not. I think we're going to go into this game looking good. With Dallas, I feel we're going to win. I feel we need to win. And I'll talk about that more next week. But because, next week, obviously, Labor Day, and it will be 3 days before football starts. Okay, let me go on a little rant about why there should be no, and I'll take this down, why there shouldn't be a preseason. And listen close, everybody who watches this down the road. Maybe we need to start something. Maybe we need to start a little, I don't want to say petition because petitions wouldn't work with this, but maybe some social media bonanza. If you stop going to games in the preseason, paying the $100 plus that you're paying for these tickets, they'll stop. I promise you, they'll stop. They're just going to have practices for all through August. And they won't even have the Hall of Fame game. They'll just do the Hall of Fame, which is fine. Do the Hall of Fame. You don't need a Hall of Fame game. These guys just need to practice. I hate to use that line that, Allen Iverson, it hasn't trademarked, thankfully, because then I could say it. They just need to keep practicing until get go. Have their intermediate skirmishes, with other teams. Do that. That's fine. Just don't make people pay for it to watch it. It's not worth it. You can cut, and they're only cut one. They did one cut, 53 people tomorrow. That's it. That they came up with this back in March, that they were only doing, instead of doing the layers of week 1, week 2, week 3 of preseason, to cut 75, 63, 53. It's just 53. So if we can all not go to preseason games, and I mean to say this to the people who can afford it, don't go. Watch it on TV or don't watch it at all. I'm telling you, they'll stop. they make $1 million plus per preseason game. And that's just by the math I did. $1 million per game. It's probably closer to 4 or 5. But my math, I was probably keeping things that, or one, it was quick math. 2, I was not factoring other things that would move that number up. If that goes away, preseason games go away. I'll leave it at that. Think about it. Eat, chew on it. See if anybody wants to talk about that. Because I'm curious what people think about that. I know LeBruno, Jim, you agree with me on that. Make people stop going. They will stop. Kind of happened with the All-Star game. The at the end of the year, they had to make it a tournament, of different things. So we're going to play cornhole, So, like I said, let me get to this now, and I'm going to show this here because I want people to see. Okay, so my confidence pool is coming to a close. We got 10 days to get in. If you want in, email me at chazroyalty@gmail.com for details. This is how we do it. I'll show you here. Let me share. Let's see. Okay. So you see here where my arrow is and the hand now. Chaz K's 2023-2024 NFL confidence pool. Okay, I get you the details. You log in. This is the page you're going to see first. It's what's new. Please follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Currently running these things, but that's going to change once week 1 hits. Okay, it has even which I did a vote for, a poolhost.com pool. Like I said, so this is poolhost.com. This is right here. Okay, this is the website. Apps. Some of the apps don't even work, but this is. So this is my confidence pool that I'm running. Okay, so you click on it if it goes through. Let's see. Let's try that. There we go. So at the moment, I got 36 participants. I took 2 out this afternoon because they said they're not in anymore. And 3 people already did their picks, which I kind of find it funny. And, but they also do have time to change their picks if they want. That's a good thing about doing it so early. So as you can see, 9 days, 23 hours, 37 minutes. It gives you a time of the deadline. Okay. So, and it has your participants. It has your week picks. Who's the pre-3 leader? That doesn't count. It's going to say week 1 leader. That's what it's going to say, week 1 leader. And then season leader. Now, that's what it says here. Let me go to weekly results. Then the pool results, okay? First off, you're going to do your picks here. When you do your picks, you make changes, you view your picks. You can add another pick sheet, which means it's another $5 per week, but we can get in that details. I just got to email you about it, or I could talk to you on the phone or text, either way. Rename a pick sheet, delete a pick sheet. You can delete your own pick sheet here. I can delete other things on my end through my administrative thing here. But that's I'm the only one that has this. Everybody else won't have that. So let me go to pool results, weekly results. Okay. So this is what you're going to see. And another thing, by the way, you're going to see is this ad. All you got to do is X out of it. It goes away. It comes back every 2 minutes, usually. Now, this is what this looks like. This is every game, week 1. You're going to weigh the number of your pick from 1 to 16 all through here. Now, I don't see, or actually not I, but the players will not see each person's pick until the day the first game starts. Simple as that. So, like I said, this is the players. We got players here every game, and it adds up with the week, and it gives total. Now, there's a weekly win, and then there's a yearly win. And last year it was 2 for the week, and it was 4 for the year. I get more, it can go up. Simple as that. Like I said, and then there's a percentage. Let me go to that. This is a side pot that I have that's $10 extra. This winning percentage is going to be different than your total of your points that you win. Most likely because depending on what games you win and what games you don't win. So I got 23 right now out of the 36 that played last year. Still waiting on 13, and I'm hoping for more. So I honestly I would love to see if, and we're clear, I think. Okay, I don't need to see that anymore. So like I said, 23 are confirmed, less than 10 days to start. The 13 people that haven't responded, please respond soon or get online and go on, and you got 10 days to do your picks. And then with what's got to be paid for the week or the year, depending on how you pay. Like I said, this is fun. It's not expensive. I got told that I might get more people today by one of the players. I might get more people if it was more expensive. But because they're because of FanDuel and other things like that. You know what? I don't make 100,000 a year. That's not me. At least not yet. But even if I were to make 100,000, I'd still do this because I know people don't. I grew up, lower middle class, and I get what lower middle class is. I'm not going to do that. That's this is a fun pool for a little money, not a lot. But it's fun. It makes Sundays fun. It makes Thursdays fun. Sunday, Monday. Sometimes it'll be Friday one week. Well, the game after Thanksgiving, it'll be the Jets playing, I think, Miami. So it's going to be fun. But like I said, Thursday night, you got to get it in. Excuse me. I had a pizza night. It killed me. And so, like I said, you got to have your picks in by Thursday, all of them. So, and it's not just one person; it's everybody. And it's got to be Thursday before the game starts. The one thing that I can't do is fix your picks before the game starts, like I did last year. For people that know that I was helping them out because they couldn't do this and they couldn't meet up or whatever. It's not hard to go on your phone and just do click. It's not. I've told people that it's not hard. So, and tell your friends, tell your coworkers, this is fun to be in. All you gotta do is send me your contact information, name, phone number, and email. That's it. And then I can send you details of what this is. Okay. That's the last. You'll hear about that. Now I want to talk a little bit about. Come on up. Let's sing show. There we go. Hard Knocks, like I talked about last week, and this is a good show, especially with the Jets. I would mind. I'd rather have the Giants, but it is what it is. Now, one of the things I liked, and it was watching the running back. This kid is Israel Abankanda. I don't know his number. I apologize on that, but they showed him a lot. He's an up and coming kid, and he got hurt. But I think they're going to keep him because he's that good. As long as the injury's not that bad from game 2, I think he stays on the team. We'll see. I didn't see him on a cut list yet, but this kid he's such a homely kid, and I'm hoping to God that they keep him. He's that good of a kid. And like I said, as a whole, they're giving a grade. This Jets country fan nation rookie show redemption. Grade A. Yeah, I'll agree with the A. I mean, they Did a karaoke session with Battle of the Bands. Like, these rookies did a whole rookie class thing. It was kind of funny. It was hazing, but not. And Jerome Cap was the guy that actually won, the contest. And then Randall Cobb. He's going to be one of those top 3 guys. I'm curious how he is going to be in fantasy. I think he's going to go 6th or 7th round, honestly, in my humble opinion. And he's going to that's going to be a bigger score than anybody in that round, I'm thinking. Smart and Izzy. Okay, they were talking about Abaconda. Quinnen remains undefeated. Oh, Quinnen Williams. I tell you, that's why the Jets are going to go 15-2. That defense is going to run people over. Not just the Giants' second, they might do that to the Giants' first team in week 8 or week 9 when we play them. That's going to be a hell of a game. That should be a Monday Night Football game. It's probably not, but that should be. And then there was a little drama with Mike Evans. Go figure. Last week. That was kind of interesting that there was a little hubbub with Mike Williams. And I think we talked about Mike Williams last week, everything that he's done with Tampa Bay. So the fact that he kind of went, off with them, and they had an interesting game. I think, if I'm correct, the Jets lost to Tampa, which it doesn't matter. Honestly, it doesn't matter if you win or lose as long as you don't get hurt. And actually, that's why the Giants game they kind of got hurt. They got 5 guys hurt compared to the 1 in the Jets. All right, news. It's not giving me nothing. Yeah, this computer is a little slow when I do this. Anyway, okay, let's see. Jets news. Bryce Huff streaks into regular season. Breer's one pressing issue that can keep the Jets out. 3 game balls and Gasser for Jets preseason win. Yeah, okay, they got a game balls. Okay, so I'm just gonna do quick updates on this. Okay, Yankees, and I know they're playing the Tigers now, and that's fine. I mean, the season, I'm calling it. We're done. I don't even think we have 30 games left. I could be wrong on the number. No, we have. Wait, we have 35, I think. I mean, we're almost into September. Yeah, it's got to be about 35. So if we go 35-0, we'd have 97 wins. We're not going 35-0. It's just not happening. If we're lucky to get 82, we're lucky to get 82. I just think we're done. Anybody who's hurt, to go on the IL. Just get better for next year if you're one of the guys we want back. And I keep hearing this about Bader, and he hasn't been doing good. I have to admit, DJ's figured it out. He's getting better. He's had 3 home runs in the last 4 games, and I was ripping on him a couple weeks ago. So whatever has worked with our new hitting coach, it's worked, and that's great. Now, Bader, though, we got kids in the minors. They're going to be coming up. Bader's got to watch out. Dominguez is ripping AAA up. And I saw him when he was in AA. That was this year. These kids are coming fast. They want to be in. And so is the catcher. The catchers that are currently on the roster better watch out. As I saw this, let me go to my Yankees stuff. I saw this article on an email I got. It's a Yankees depth chart. There we go. So, okay, so pitchers. This has got to change. And Rodon, you put him back on the IL. The guy can't pitch. He's got to figure this out. I'm done with him. Nestor's on a 15 IL. I don't know when that ends, but he might be better. Like I said, and Severino need to go. Burrito, hey, he's got to pitch. He's got to pitch. And we need somebody else from the minors who can pitch. Period. And you know who I take out too, out of the bullpen, because anytime, and any Yankee fan can back me up on this. Anytime you watch a Yankee game and the bullpen comes in, and they put in Wandy Peralta. I saw this when I went there August 4th. Wandy Peralta gives up a home run a game. Swear to God. I don't even have to look it up because I know what I've seen. Wandy Peralta needs to go away. IL or off the team. Period. He needs to go. You know, this Ian Hamilton's not bad. And Kenny Middleton, again, both of those guys, new guys, they can work their way in. Michael King has had some hiccups. I actually love Michael King. I love Clay Holmes. Those are the two guys. They're my 8th and 9th inning guys if Trevino's up there too. You know, you flip-flop them. But they're both righty, so you can't really flip-flop them. Where's the lefty? And the lefty's Peralta. We need another lefty. Anybody. Give me somebody. Anybody. You know what? I might even take Ottavino back. I hate to say it. But we need somebody to come back as a lefty in this lineup, in this bullpen lineup. So here's the two pitchers. Okay, let me go. Let me go to the 40 man. I think he's part of the 40 man. No, he's not. Oh, okay. Hold on a second. He's in the minors. Let's go non-roster. He's in the minors. Not going to show me minors. Okay. I got a better idea. Let's go to Yankees AAA. Roster. I think I know his last name is Wells. Rail Raiders, yes. I don't want tickets. I want their roster. Yes, I want their roster. It's giving me ticket sales. And this is stupid. Maybe MILB. Let's see. Look at that. Sunday Smash. 6-win in series finale over Iron Pigs. This AAA team's good. This is 63 and 61. I mean, that's okay, barely over 500. But let's see. Clayton Bearder, fans 5. Jason Dominguez, 2-run triple. Dominguez is hot. There's Austin Wells, his name, the catcher. Hit a 2-run home run yesterday. These kids are coming up, and they're going to hit this. They're going to hit. I can see it. Dominguez is going to hit. Austin's going to hit. It's just a matter of time. We got the right hitting coach. We might. I hate to say it. We might have the right manager, but we got players in the minors, and we brought 2 up already. These 2 are going to legit be good guys. Are they going to be stars? Wells, maybe. Dominguez, I need to see more because I thought he was taller. He's 5'9". I'm not saying that's a lot, but we've had 5'9" guys before that are good, but can he be better than good? We'll see. Now the Mets, let's go to Mets. There's not much. They're playing the Rangers right now. Let's see what their score is, because I've heard Beth screaming out there. So they were doing something good. Look at that. They're winning 3-1 in Citi Field against Texas. One of the better teams in the American League. I mean, it's now the Mets have lost 4 in a row. But no, I'm wrong. They've won 1 in a row. They've lost the last 4 to 5. So, if they actually can win this game, this would be amazing. I mean, I don't have the stats in front of me what they're doing, but they are playing with house money because now it is house money. I mean, they got rid of $80 million, although actually they're probably still paying 40 of that. So they got rid of $40 million or so. And they're playing with these kids. DJ Stewart, Ortega. I mean, these were guys in AAA 2 weeks ago. And they're I think Ortega last night hit the game-winning hit. They're a solid team. If the Mets, let's see, what's their record now? It says they are 60-71. They'll be lucky to get to 500. I don't see it. I truly don't. But we'll see. We'll see what next week happens. All right, next, I saw this. This is kind of a big story, and I know Colin, who used to watch me, he doesn't watch me anymore. So Victor Hovland Tour Championship puts him in another class on the PGA Tour. So this guy pretty much dominated this weekend from what I've been reading. He was racking up 20s as a 21-year-old as a PGA Tour rookie. By 23, he had 3 wins and a Ryder Cup appearance. So this guy's coming up, and he could really, bolster what the PGA is, kind of been lacking. Victor Hovland. That let's see if we can remember that name in a week or two. So let's see. Here's his next test. When he's no longer the young rising star chasing the top, who is he when the golf world is chasing him? It's a good question. Very good question. Who wrote this? Good for them. Brody Miller of The Athletic. I like reading The Athletic. It's some really good stories. They know what they're talking about. They get the guys who are actually, tops in their fields of what they watch and what they cover. They write some good stuff, and this is a very interesting story. I'm going to have to see if I can save this. Like I said, that's going to be a name to watch, Victor Hovland. All right, I know I'm running long, but I got to get this out. Okay, so now Governor Murphy has put into effect. There we go. Murphy signed legislation on Thursday, officially marking Central Jersey a region in New Jersey. That means the Garden State will redraw its tourism map to include and promote Central Jersey and all it has to offer, including its wineries, scenic nature parks, and more. Here we go. From North Jersey and at the south of the Raritan River. Central Jersey will be made up of Hunterdon, Mercer, Middlesex, and Somerset. 4 counties. When the other regions have 8 and 9. Central Jersey's 4. And I maybe I'm a little biased because I lived in this county for more than half my life. Monmouth County is Central Jersey. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I was livid hearing this omission from a governor who lives in Monmouth County. Murphy, you're wrong. And I try not to bring politics into this. I really try not to. This is not where politics comes. This is sports. This is life. But unfortunately, so is this. This is life too. And our governor of this state said Central Jersey exists without Monmouth County. I would love to start a petition. I'm actually thinking of doing it because this is an issue. It might be an issue for me and not other people, but I have seen on multiple Facebook posts, multiple Twitter accounts, that they feel Monmouth County's been left out too. And I have a voice. I have a podcast. I have a way to get this out. this part will be promoted, as so will other things from this podcast as well. Governor Murphy needs to rethink this legislation. I get Mercer, I get Middlesex, I kind of get Somerset. Never thought about Hunterdon, especially how I don't know. I mean, just I guess it is looking at it, but how do you leave off Monmouth? It's not the Jersey Shore. It is, but it's more than the Jersey Shore. Freehold and Englishtown will tell you that. People in Florida and North Carolina who used to live in Monmouth County or whereabouts around it also say that it should be included in Central Jersey. I don't know if other radio stations we have a New Jersey radio station 1015 that they have a radio station. I don't know if it's been on. I haven't seen any of this on their emails that they send out because I do follow them. I follow former radio DJs from there. I follow current ones, and I haven't seen too much of it other than a blurb of a headline. But I haven't heard any talk of it. I don't listen enough to know if people are in agreement with me. But I will try to do something because honestly, that's something I feel I need to do. And the only way I could start it is start it here. So Monmouth County, if you're listening, any one of you who agree with me, please let me know. If you want me to start that petition, you want to sign it, I'll start it. It's almost a travesty that this hasn't happened already. And the fact that we were left off is even worse. That should have been louder, but I'm trying not to get my significant other to, I don't want her coming in and saying, why am I yelling so much? Because I didn't shut the door. All right. So I did watch a movie this weekend, and it came out on either not Netflix, either Amazon or one of those, Peacock, something like that. And it was The Flash, the one with Ezra Miller. I'm not going to give too much away if you haven't seen it. I don't want to give spoilers. I'm sure there's millions of people that still haven't seen this movie if they want to see it. It just came out. You don't have to pay for it if you have Amazon or whatever platform it's on. And honestly, it wasn't bad. It was a little hokey here and there. If you know comics, apparently it's not quite what the comics would do, but that happens all the time. The storyline went a little bit awry, but it was part of the storyline, so I was like, okay. But there were hints of really cool things that happened in it that I thought made it better. And as usual, like these DC, like these Marvel movies, there's an ending that's a kind of a twist. And there's a total twist in this movie. Not going to say, maybe I'll talk about it in a month or so when I think more people have seen it. I love the twist. It's funny. The reactions are hysterical. And if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Maybe you feel different. Maybe you don't. It's not the best DC movie. It's probably one of the worst. I'll say that because DC has a lot of good movies. Justice League was hands down probably the best movie, especially director's cut. If you can watch the director's cut, spend 4 to 5, I think it was 4 or 5 hours. You can sit down and watch the entire thing. And that's how you want to watch it. You don't want to split it up in 3 parts, 4 parts. Watch the entire thing. Spend 5 to 6 hours, whatever it is, and watch the entire Justice League director's cut by Zack Snyder. Really good. Probably one of the best, if not the best, DC movie. All right, so that's my Flash review. Like I said, let's see, 5 stars. It's probably like a 3. 10, out of 10, it's a 6.5. So I've seen better. I've seen worse too. So all right, the only movie that's coming out that even looks halfway decent this week, anyway, is The Equalizer 3 with Denzel Washington, Dakota Fanning. That's like the only one. I mean, there's obviously a lot out. Oppenheimer's still out. A couple others are still out. Let's see anything on TV. I'm curious. I didn't look. Documentary, drama. Okay. There's a drama coming out, and I think I've seen a little bit of this preview. Queenie with Taraji P. Henson. I think I've seen that. There is a documentary coming on God Family Football. That sounds like a Texas thing. Yeah, there's really nothing coming out not till the week after. Yeah, there's a couple things we after. Okay. So last but not least, well, we got a few things here. So 2 birthdays today, and I've already said it on Facebook with the happy birthdays. Casey Reynolds, a buddy from I said a few moons ago. It's more than like many moons ago. Like early 2000s, my first divorce. We hung out a lot. It was, I just turned 30. Yeah, and we were. The picture on Facebook is one of the best pictures that I remember of us having. It was a night of drinking, but it was a night of fun. We all stayed over at a buddy's house down in Jackson, and it was probably one of the best fun nights I've ever had in my 30s. Like Casey's, like I said, your birthday today. Happy birthday, 43 years old. Still 3.5 years younger than me. And also Jesse Festa, a local Woodbridge, New Jersey artist who I've actually purchased a few items, mostly for Beth, that we can hang up in our house. One of them we had hung up in our Island apartment. It's not hung up yet here, but it's a found a picture of Pete Alonso, and she redid the whole thing, and it looked really cool. And Beth loved it. And I finally introduced Beth to Jesse a few weeks ago when she had an open house at her house, where weirdly enough, I actually bought a bowling ball for Hunter, 10-pound bowling ball for $2. So Jesse, happy birthday, 38 years old. We do have some celebrity birthdays. Now, this one kills me to say because I don't recognize her as a celebrity, but apparently everybody else in famous birthday world does. Honey Boo Boo is 18 years old. I was flabbergasted to see it. She was one of the top ones. I know she was number 1. I'm sorry, she was the number 1 birthday for today. Out of the rest of these are actually in order technically of from 1 to whatever. Honey Boo Boo was number 1. How weird of a world do we live in where Honey Boo Boo is number 1 at something? All right, Jack Black, happy birthday, 54 years old. Shania Twain, I love Shania Twain. One of my favorite country singers. I'm not a country fan. To no end, I'm not a country fan, but I am a Shania Twain fan. Jennifer Coolidge. I know people aren't watching now, and that's fine, but I'll give you 10 seconds to figure out who Jennifer Coolidge is. Haven't figured it out yet. Stifler's mom. To American Pie fans of the American Pie the movie, especially the first one, you know who Jennifer Coolidge is. She is Stifler's mom. She's also been in a few other things. 2 Broke Girls. She was in a couple of TV shows on streaming networks. Then we got Leanne Rimes, another actress and a country singer, 41 years old. Jason Priestley, Mr. 90210. And apparently the other show that Riverdale he's on too. 54 years old. Now, Florence Welch, I had to look her up, but I was right. I knew who she was. She's the lead singer of Florence and the Machine. Florence Welch, she's 37 years old. Now we'll go to this. This is hysterical. Movies and shows that came out today, August 28th. In 1993, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers came out. 30 years ago. The Mighty Morphin 30. I was 13. No, 16. I was 16 in 93. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Okay. Honeymoon in Vegas, released in 1992. I don't think I saw that until a little bit later because that was an R-rated movie, if I'm correct. Couldn't see that until I was at a high school. And then now this song came out before my birth, before I was born. Actually, if I'm correct, it was. This came out after Beth was born. So on August 28th, 1975, Walk This Way was released and then actually recovered by Run DMC in 86. Summer of 86, if I'm correct. All right. So, like I said, I'm going to go back to two different things real quick. 10 days. It's all anybody has. 10 days to get into this pool. I got details I can send you. Email me, chazroyalty@gmail.com for details. 23 are confirmed in. That's I can't do the numbers in my head right now. I'm this close to going to bed. So I'm getting tired. But like I said, this is the big thing for me for going into this week. When we see each other again, it's going to be 3 days. And as I have always said in every episode I've done, if you like what you see or hear, click subscribe on the bottom right-hand corner. Hope everything you like and see today. I did a few rants. I remembered some people that we lost over the last week. And we have football in 10 days. Have fun. I'll see you on Labor Day. Take care, guys.